we have so gotten confidence and arrogance mixed up. But it's okay to tell somebody, baby, I'm fly. And I
Okay.
need nobody to like everything I wear. I don't need anybody to approve everything that I say because it's in here. I know who I am. And that doesn't mean that you come off as obstinate or as conceited or you're not collaborative. But
Yeah.
if I don't give you me, I don't know why I'm
Woo,
here.
woo, girl, stop giving me chills over here, okay?
Today, we are talking with Rashieda Shabazz, a graduate degree life and growth coach with a special niche on self-love. And she is here to share with us what it takes to show up as your most authentic self in life. My name is Monique Scott.
Hey, and this is your girl, Felina B. Flossin. Thank you for joining us. Remember to subscribe, like, and comment below on your biggest takeaway from today's topic, or feel free to share your experience. Hi, Rashieda. Welcome to the Five
Hello,
Strategy
beautiful
Show.
ladies. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited about this evening.
Yes, we're so delighted to have you as well.
Yes.
So, hey, Rashieda, let's get right into it.
Yes.
Let's start with the phrase showing up. For someone
Absolutely.
not familiar with that term, can you break that down? What does it mean to show up?
Absolutely. And I will give you Rashida's version because everybody might have a different version, but showing up means to be brave enough to be your true self. Often what we hear in society is showing up as the best version of yourself. I don't solicit the opinions of other people in that area, or I don't necessarily subscribe to a version of yourself. What I subscribe to is you being your true self, whatever that is, however you've evolved, and whatever it is that looks like. So showing up means that if I have a difference of opinion, that I'm still brave and courageous enough and have enough confidence to speak what it is that I believe.
Yeah.
If I want to wear a leopard print shirt, striped pants with a blue top and some green pants, as I often do,
Go
then
ahead.
and that I love myself enough and that I have enough confidence and enough self-assurance to be able to do it so that people will have the privilege, the blessing, and the opportunity to meet who I am and not somebody else's preference of who I am.
Okay.
Now, you said something there when you said, I forgot the colors, but you said you would show up in the blue pants and the green stripes or something different. And oftentimes, I've been in my closet and thought, I would want to wear that. And I'll step back and go, yeah, but what would somebody else say about that? Talk to us a little bit about what does it take for someone to do that? What does it take for someone to actually show up like that as their authentic self in that realm?
Well, Monique, I think, and I know we are on a stretch of limited time, so I won't go too deep. I think it's being brave enough to get to know yourself. It's addressing your trauma. It's addressing your insecurities. It's addressing your inadequacies. It's addressing how you view the world from your lens through your set of experiences. And the reason why I say that is because until you do, and until you are able to embrace who you are, good, bad, and indifferent, you'll never have enough bravery to step into, I may be the only person in a room of 1,000 looking how I look, but I feel good. And this is my message to the world. And what's so important about that, when you say, what does it take? There's only one Monique, there's only one Felina, and there's only one Rashieda. And so when we don't step into or show up, we cheat the world. Because what happens is that we were created with a unique set of gifts, a unique set of talents, and a unique purpose. And if I don't show up as Rashieda Lassan, then what happens is that I cheat you because I have something that nobody else in the world can give. And so showing up means that this is what makes me feel good. And that doesn't mean that we avoid what's appropriate in certain atmospheres. But what that means is that we are brave enough to say, I love myself enough to at least try this. And to go through the level of healing in order to do that. And to be brave enough to say that even if I get a few stares, even if I get a few eye rolls, baby, they still saw me. Baby, they still saw me. Baby, I still sent a message. And what happens is that oftentimes people want to show up in that way and just need an example of how to do it.
Yeah.
They just need somebody to be like, oh my gosh, she did that and she killed it. You know what?
Mhm.
Now I'm going to do it.
Now I'm going to do
It
that.
sounds
Now I'm
mighty
gonna do it.
freeing. Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. And it's people being freed up to be who they
Yeah.
are. Because my thing about that is I don't want 1,000 versions of me, baby.
Right.
And it's funny because I won't go too long on this. We have so gotten confidence and arrogance mixed up. But it's okay to tell somebody, baby, I'm fly.
Okay.
Need nobody to like everything I wear. I don't need anybody to approve everything that I say because it's in here. I know who I am. And that doesn't mean that you come off as obstinate or as conceited or you're not collaborative. But
Yeah.
if I don't give you me, I don't know why I'm here.
Woo, woo, girl, stop giving me chills over here. Okay. Say that.
The best gift I can give you is Rashieda.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And someone who's not as brave and bold as Rashieda, how do I recognize, like, how do they recognize that they're not showing up? What are some signs or what are some things that you may notice that to know that they're not showing up?
You're going to feel it in your soul.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be out of place. You'll never operate, and this is what I tell people even as I'm coaching, you'll never operate in a place of success if you're operating outside of your purpose. And so there'll always be this feeling of unease that'll take place. Or have you ever been in a place where you say, I know I'm supposed to be doing more?
Yeah.
Or you make them and you're unfulfilled. Or you want to make the money and baby, you can't keep a job. Or nobody's listening to you because you're out of place and you're doing the right thing here. The right thing. Again, the right thing for the wrong reason.
Wow.
And so what happens is it starts with a self-work. And the most important message that I can send about the self-work is, baby, it's a journey.
Yes.
You're not going to wake up one day and arrive,
Mm-hmm.
but it's baby steps. It's literally getting a pen and a pad, getting a journal and writing on one side what I desire.
Yeah.
And writing on another side what my life looks like now or how I view myself.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I want to answer your question in a more direct way, Monique, if I can. In order for us to show up, we have to be able to have an honest conversation with ourselves and to be able to say, hear me, what are my self-imposed barriers?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And what I mean when I say that is often in business, especially as an entrepreneur or as a leader, as an executive, I had to sit back and have a tough conversation with Rashieda. And do you know what was killing me? I feel like it. When it's time to go to the gym, I don't feel like it. When it's time to be healthier, I don't feel like it. When it's time to get dressed and go on a podcast, talk, laying in the bed, I don't feel like it. I'm tired. What are self-imposed barriers and why? Why don't you feel like it, Rashieda? Do you believe you've earned a seat at the table that you desire? It's us having those conversations that we hate to have, but we need to have in order to move to the next level. What are your self-imposed barriers? What's killing you?
The next level.
Exactly.
Getting to the next level sounds like a comfort zone issue. I'm comfortable over here, but I want to be over there.
Mm-hmm. And I want to be over there. I desire to be there, but do I believe that I truly have earned or that I'm worth the place at the table? I want to be there so bad, but they're smarter than me. They're not going to listen to me. I don't have the money. I don't have the look. But when was the last time you've worked what you do have? When was the last time you've operated from the place of I do? Not I don't.
Yes.
I do have this.
Yeah.
I do have that. And what happens is that our uniqueness is what earns us our place. But when we are not operating in a place of confidence, what happens is that our uniqueness becomes a, well, I'm different. So this or they don't sound like me or they don't look like me or it doesn't work like that. So then what happens is I shrink myself. Not understanding that what makes you unique is what places you at the table.
Yes. Okay, then. Okay, say that, Rashieda. Girl, you are just really giving us what we need to hear. I heard that. So with all of this, the living more authentic, how would you say that life would be improved by living more authentically or might get worse?
So the way that it would Okay, I'm a sandwich girl. So if you want to talk about what gets worse, let's talk about that and let's end with the positive.
Okay.
It's not about it getting worse, Felina. It's perspective.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's important to note. And what I tell people all the time is that in this journey, what happens is you're going to have days that you don't like so much and that you do. But this is the revelation that I received. And this is what we have to do. We have to let a minute be a minute,
Okay.
a moment be a moment,
Ooh,
an hour be an hour, and a day be a day.
I see.
Just because you have a moment of insecurity or a moment of depression or anxiety, baby, that don't make a bad day.
Yeah.
And so what happens is that when you talk about how it makes it worse, it does not.
Mhm.
Because there is no such thing as you stepping into your purpose a bad thing. So that's not at all.
Amen.
Just be different. Just because there's a bit of struggle.
Yeah.
Just because it's not business as usual, that don't make it worse.
No.
Absolutely.
That means that you are being stretched into the strength of who you are. You are being stretched into the confidence of who you are. You are being stretched into the trueness of who you really are, because you're not giving the world a whole lot until you get to that space.
Yes. Okay.
And so what happens is that the improvement then comes. And what happens is that shoulders begin to roll back. Chest begin to become lifted, and then you begin to walk into rooms, and then what happens is that you don't even have to ask for a seat because it's already been created for you. Right. And what happens is that the progression of the trueness of who you really are doesn't just give you a seat, it gives you your own table.
Say that.
Okay.
Okay. That
your own table. So it's not about a worse, it's about perspective. But what happens is that we start to sweat a little bit, and then we go into, oh my God, this must not be for me. Absolutely not. I used to tell my children, and I still tell them now, and they're in their 20s, I said, there has never been success without adversity.
Yeah.
And but what happens is we have to get comfortable with operating in a space of discomfort in order to get to where it is that we are truly purposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is worse. There's perspective.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah. So why do you believe, man, you really broke that down. You really, really broke that down. Why do you believe that people are struggling with this and not being as their true selves?
Well, let's just be clear. Society doesn't necessarily give you permission. It's this is what it should be. This is how I want you to be. This is the model of it. And I'm not even one of those let's hate on social media. Yeah. But go ahead and take a look at all the girls on social media that have a certain look, that have a certain swag. And you let me know if I'm getting too inappropriate. Let's talk about the influx of BBLs in the past few years.
You know what I'm saying? Girl.
And I say that to only say this. There is a certain model of acceptance being sold. And so when I don't look like it, when I don't sound like it, when I don't play like it, when I don't work like it, automatically it's not socially accepted. But then what happens is that you have a society of exact drones.
Yeah.
Everybody look like each other. Everybody sound like each other.
Yeah.
Everybody walk like each other. And then you really have to ask yourself, so who's lending real?
Yeah.
And this is not a statement of judgment at all.
Of course.
At some point you have to ask yourself, where's the real?
Where's the real?
And it's not a judgment against those who truly do.
Of course.
It's not that at all. If you want to have a surgery, we'll stay on this topic, and I hope I'm not going too off topic with it, then it's okay. But again, I tell people all the time, what's your why?
Yeah.
If your why is, baby, I'm hefty at the top and I just ain't making it at the bottom. I love myself and I'm just trying to put on my jeans and boom, baby, go out and get it.
Right.
But if you're doing it from a place of low self-esteem,
you're
doing it from a place of low self-concept, if you're doing it from a place of lack of identity, that's where I come in and I say, baby, we have some things that we need to work on. Yeah. I'm talking about the why, Felina and Monique. It's not necessarily the what all the time as much as it is the why.
Yeah. Rashieda, you are awesome, first of all. And I couldn't agree more with many of the things that you were saying.
Yeah.
Can you tell our audience, we know we have the paperwork, we've seen the bio, but tell our audience what qualifies you as an expert in this space.
Absolutely. Well, I have over 20 years of experience, well over 20 years of experience in this space. And when you talk about the level of experience I have, it crosses over 15 different sectors. So as a coach, I have operated in the nonprofit sector, in the medical sector, in the Fortune 500 sector, in the private business and middle class sector. I have operated in the faith-based sector. And not only that, I also have gone to school and I have a master's degree in marriage and family therapy. It's actually in counseling with a specialization in marriage and family therapy. And the reason why I did that is because I love people, but I also want people to know, you will to do good, but you do need some credentials behind your back. And so it was not anything that I chose. It was something that was truly aligned for my life. And it has proven itself to be so useful because you have certain minority groups who they will not go to therapy and they do not want the diagnosis slapped across their chest or against their back, but we do need help.
Yeah. Wow.
We do need help from the wounds and the sins of our parents and our childhood and all of these things that really make up how we view ourselves in the world. And they keep us from being our best self. And it's just time out.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Wow. So Rashieda, if someone were listening right now and was struggling with showing up as their authentic self, what would you say to them right now? What advice can you share them?
One thing that I can say is write down what you want. I'm huge on writing down, not just visions. A lot of times we do vision boards and all of that. Sometimes that's too big for people. Write down what you want. On the flip side or the other side of the paper, write down how you view yourself. And when I do that, I also encourage people, when you get your pen and your pad, get a box of snot tissue. Because what happens is that we've not been taught how to be vulnerable with ourselves.
Ooh.
And so I tell people it's going to take a journey, or I encourage people and I tell them it's going to take a journey and you're not going to get everything out in one day. I said, but I want you to learn how to be vulnerable with yourself. I want you to learn how to be honest with yourself. How do you truly view yourself? And then after you write down what you want, how you truly view yourself, and then I want you to write down again, one of my favorite words, I want you to write down why. Because the why is what you have to attack. Because the why is what's keeping you. It's either keeping you or it's pushing you. And so you have to look at the why. And then I tell people this all the time. I want you to check yourself on how you talk to yourself. Positive self-talk is a real thing. And what I also tell people, hear me in context, the brain is dumb. It's stupid. It does what you tell it to do. So if you constantly tell yourself, I'm not good enough, if you constantly tell your brain to search for the negative, if you constantly tell yourself, this is not going to work, if you constantly tell yourself, I'm not on that level, you know what the brain is going to do? The brain is going to say, receptors, I'm going to go out, I am going to search, and I'm going to find everything that it is that you've told me, because what the brain does is it follows marching orders. So what we have to do is we have to catch ourselves. And again, it's a journey, but we have to catch ourselves and to be able to say, how am I talking to myself? What am I telling myself when I truly desire a thing? What am I telling myself when I look myself in the mirror? What am I telling myself when I say I want to go back to school, but I'm in my 40s and I say, but I'm not smart enough, or I'm too old, or I want this promotion, or I want to be a mother, or I want to do this, or what am I telling myself when it comes to what it is that I truly want? How do I communicate my needs and my desires? Do I know how to communicate my needs and my desires?
Rashieda, this is truly been a blessing, and you have laid us with so many nuggets. You have to tell our listeners right now, someone who is in need of, maybe they don't even know they're in need of a life or a growth coach. How do they get in touch with you?
Yes, what you can do is you can go to www.ndcssolutions.com. Again, www.ndcssolutions.com, New Dimensions Consulting Services Solutions.com. And if you forget that, just Google New Dimensions Consulting Services.
Say it slow one more time. New Dimensions.
New Dimensions Consulting Services.
Got it.
And you'll find there, and we are a coaching and consulting firm, and we seek to help and strive to help individuals, small and medium-sized businesses, entrepreneurs, small business owners. It doesn't matter. We are here to help those who desire to be helped and who need to be helped.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Wow. Rashieda Shabazz, my dear friend and sister, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So we thank you all for listening, liking, and subscribing. We believe in you, and we wish you your success on this 5-star living journey.
Yes, yes. Join us on Facebook in the 5-Star Living Show Inner Circle. And remember to laugh more and love more while taking care of your mind, body, and soul.
Absolutely. The 5-Star Living Show is sponsored in part by FlossieB.com, Meditate with Mo, Flossie Flicks Photography, Monique.com, and Flossie Locks. Until next time, keep 5-star living.
Keep 5-star living, y'all. We'll see you next time.